Good afternoon. Today we're talking about the WP410 Wildix desk phone, and we're just going to look simply at the buttons on the phone to see what they're all used for. The soft buttons at the top, the 4 soft buttons are used in conjunction with the display, so depending on the status of the phone depends on what these buttons are used for. For example, the first button at the moment is history. If we picked up the handset, the first button would be used to send a call. So underneath the soft buttons you have the up, down, left, right, check mark and the X. The up and down buttons are used to go through menus on the display. The left and right buttons are used to go from page 1 to page 2 on the 2 function keys on the right here. So the little dot there indicates on page 1. If you press right, it goes to page 2. Right again, goes back to page 1. And you can use the left key in the same way. The X key is basically a cancel key, whatever you're doing. If you're looking at features, for example, and you want to go back to the main page, press the X and it'll take you back to the main page. You can do that from any page. The central button, the big check mark, is basically used to confirm. So if you're dialing a number, for example, you can press the check mark to send the number and make the call. So it's useful when you're using things like call transfer and call hold, or just making calls. On the right hand side you've got the F1 and F2 buttons. As we explained before, these are used in conjunction with the function keys here. So F1 at the moment is demo 501, F2 would dial line 1. If we change the page there, F1 would now dial line 2 and F2 would call demo 502. Underneath that, the next 2 buttons, the one on the left is the history button. This allows you to look through calls made and received. And once you're in this menu, you can then dial or look at the details of the calls as explained in one of the other videos. To the right, we have the phone books. This lets you look through the phone books on the system. Initially, it brings you a list of all the numbers on the system. But if you press filter, you can then look at different phone books. So the colleagues phone book, the system phone book, the blacklist, the whitelist, and any other phone books that have been added to the system. You can look through there. Underneath that, you have the headset button, which turns on and off headset mode. But also, if you're in the middle of a call, so if I make a call, for example, if I answer this on the handset, if I want to go to headset mode, if I press headset, you can see top of the display changes to headset, and I can go back to handset just by pressing the headset button again. Next to that button, you have the speaker button, which, as well as turning on speaker mode if the handset's down, you can actually go to speaker mode when in the middle of a call, press the speaker button and it changes to speaker mode now, and you could put the handset down and continue the call as we've done, or you can pick it up again and then go back to the handset. Underneath that you have the mute button. Let's turn the speaker off. You have the mute button here. That mutes the call so the person on the other end can't hear what you're saying. Useful sometimes. And the last bit underneath there is the volume button. Now, depending on what you're doing, depends on what volume it's turning up and down. With the handset at the moment, it's turning the volume in the handset. If I turn it on speaker mode, it's going to turn up the volume of the speaker, as you can hear. And if we have an incoming call and it's ringing, so if I go dial the number, it can now turn up the volume of the ringtone. On the left you have the standard telephone keypad, 1 to 9 and 0 with a star and a pound key. The 2 differences on this is on the 1 button we have the voicemail box. So enter the voicemail box, press and hold the 1 button for a few seconds, and it then brings up on the display the voicemails that you've received and allows you to play them or dial the person that's called you, or you can look at the info as well. We go back to the main display. We then look down the bottom on this star button, and you can see that there is what looks like a no entry sign. It's actually a do not disturb sign. If you press and hold that, it's a quick method to put on do not disturb. You'll see it's now appeared on the display just here, and so the phone is now in do not disturb mode. If you want to take it off quickly, press and hold that button again, do not disturb will go off. So that's the buttons on the WP410 Wildix desk phone.